So here we go for our start. This is the first of the two final races. So going into the first corner, fairly safe from everyone. We're starting at the back. We completely bottled our qualifying, starting P28 overall. Going into the second corner now, everyone's starting to widen out now, 2-3 wide up in front, and Tier just trying to go for the outside here on the 1-1-15. And as you see, I almost make it stick, but I get a little bit of wheel spin there coming out of the corner from the contact, but I'm able to get the power down early enough that I get just about a good enough run. And now going into the hairpin, I'm almost fully ahead, but he's able to get late on the brakes and everyone's bunching up on the inside line and I'm able to hold it on the outside. But then the driver in front of me is a little bit slow out the hairpin and I'm getting compromised on the inside, but then the 115 makes a mistake, goes wide, and then I go wide. I get on the gravel here, but I've at least completed the move. And now going into the second hairpin, I'm trying to have a look for whichever opening I can find really. And then going into another hairpin, we've got the inside line and I move over thinking I'm clear, but I'm not quite. A little bit of contact there, no penalty. I just thought I was fully clear, which I wasn't. Then going into the final corner, I'm trying to hold it around the outside if I can. And now on to the next lap, we had some absolute chaos again in the final sector, and I'm just trying to see what I can do. So I'm now on the outside again of this final sector. There was most of the overtakes happening just in these 4 or 5 corners. And now going into the final corner, you see there's some contact up in front of me and I tuck in behind the car in front, get a really good run down the straight, and now I'm getting a little bit of a bump draft from the car behind me, just trying to see what I can do. But now I've also got to defend from that driver that just made the mistake in the final corner. Going into turn 1 now, and I'm on the inside and I get a really good run, so I'm able to clear the cars behind, take the normal racing line. And now going into the big long hairpin just before the back straight, the two drivers in front of us are battling. I get a little bit of wheel spin. I was in second gear when I would usually be in third there, so I get a bit compromised on the exit. And now going into this tight right-hander hairpin, I'm on the inside. The two drivers in front of us are very slow because they're side by side, and now it's almost 3 wide here, and now I'm on the outside of the 2-2-3. Again on the outside here, there's a lot of gravel as you can see, so it's very slippy and I'm trying to not get too much wheel spin. And unfortunately I've let another driver up my inside there, but then there's a little bit of contact on the inside. I'm able to hold it around the outside, trying to make the move here. I've got my nose just far enough in front of the 1-1-1 and I'm able to get the move done there almost. And then going into the penultimate corner, we have a little bit of contact. Thankfully no damage for us, but let's just have a look at it again. So as you see from my cockpit view and from this chase view, I think that the 111 just turned in and thought that he had given us more space, but a little bit unfortunate there. And then here, this was really weird. It looks like the driver in front of us served a slowdown on the apex. Interestingly, he didn't get a penalty for this, which I was a bit surprised about, but it looked like he got a slowdown and then served it on the apex. So now going into this hairpin, I was a little bit annoyed, so I just sent it on the brakes, keeping it clean, and managing to stick, and then going for the cutback there on the exit, able to get the inside, and he was on the outside there, which is very slippy with all that gravel. And now going into the final sector, I've got the move pretty much done and dusted now, and just trying to cover off the inside, focus on that exit of the hairpin, and we get a really nice run. And now going into, I think this was the final or the penultimate lap, I'm trying to make a move on the 223, but now I'm on the outside of this right-hander. I'm going for the switchback now, as you see, able to get a really nice run. And now going into the final 2 corners, I'm not far enough alongside and I have to back out of the move, unfortunately. And then we have a little bit of contact. So what happened here was I saw this car behind me in the mirror go for my inside, and I knew that he was not close enough to make it clean, so I thought he was going to hit my rear. So as you see, I completely lift off the brakes to go deeper into the corner to prevent him being able to hit the rear of my car. But unfortunately, what that ended up doing is then I hit the car in front of me, which was really unfortunate. But crucially for this race, because of that bad qualifying, we only got up to P23 in the race, which meant we were 3 positions shy of getting in that top 20, and the top 20 are reversed for that second race. So when we're trying to get back into the top 10 of the AM Championship, that was a crucial race for us, and we blew our qualifying really. So now let's see what we can do in the second race.
It is fanning out about 4 wide. If you go through turn number 1, a little bit of argument, but Vasquez on the inside line here, trying to get into that top 3, has got that top 3. His rider could going to drop a bit further back. His car's facing the wrong way, there's smoke all over the show.
So after that chaotic turn 1, we're able to mostly survive that. Now going into this hairpin, as you see, all that clean racing from race 1, we weren't able to gain any positions because of pile-ups or anything like that, because everyone was so cautious in that first race, with it being the final 2 races. And now this is the final race, and that's all gone out the window. It's maximum aggression. We're going 3 wide with multiple cars going into the hairpin. There's multiple people going 3 wide. As you see up in front of us, 3 wide. Then I make it 3 wide, and having a look here, we get into a little bit of an incident. As you see, the driver on the outside, that green and black, thinks that he is too wide with a black car, not realizing I'm there as well. So he moves over, and the black car obviously gets pinched by me, and that green car goes straight across my bumper, which gives me quite a bit of front end damage. And now just later on in that lap, going into the hairpin there, the driver in front was defending very aggressively on the straight, so I back out. And now in this final sector, as you see, he gets a bit compromised on that exit, so I'm able to get the inside of this double right-hander here. He's also got some front end damage, and I'm just able to get fully clear into the final corner, so I can take the normal racing line. And as you see, he gets a little bit of a compromised exit, so we're able to clear that gap there. And now just on the next lap, as you see, chaos at the hairpin. So I'm trying to look for some moves here in the background there. I'm on the inside, and we've got one of the leaders has had a big crash and has got massive damage. Now on the into the hairpin, sorry, I'm trying to see what I can do with this driver. I know that he's got a lot of damage, so I'm trying to look for a move. And now on the exit, I'm getting a bit compromised here. And now going into the double right-hander, he just slams on the brakes and goes wide to let everyone through. But of course that completely caught me off guard, because he just braked really hard for a corner. You just tap the brakes, so we lost a little bit of time there. But as you can see, just a few laps later, again, all that clean driving from race 1 has just gone out the window, and it has just turned into utter chaos. And now we're just trying to survive and stay clean here. Going into this left-hander, I'm just trying to focus on the exit here, because I can see the drivers in front are getting just compromised because they're driving so close together. They cannot get a very good exit because they're having to be so cautious on the braking. So into the hairpin there, I get that nice inside line, but then into the right-hander, I'm now on the outside, and the driver in front of me makes a mistake, so I cannot get the power down as I would like, and I have to back out a little bit. But into the final corner, I'm able to send it on that driver and just about get fully clear on the exit, but I've not quite got ahead, so I'm having to defend into the first corner. I've got the 204 on my outside now. Going into the left-hander, I'm almost fully clear, and I'm fully clear now, and I'm able to shut the door. And now I've got the 108 on my outside going into the hairpin, and this is a pro driver, so we don't need to be ahead of him for points. This is a final race, there's no reverse grid, so all we need to do is just tuck in behind him. But as you see, the 204 sends it, and then the silver car in front of us also makes a mistake, and there's another car spinning. So now going into the end of this back straight, we're trying to defend but also be on the attack for the cars in front as well. So going to the hairpin, I'm going to take kind of a wide entry and just see if I can get a good enough exit to get past the 218. As you see, I have a little bit of a nosy there on the left-hander, but not quite close enough. And then the two cars in front of us get a little bit of a contact on the exit there. So I'm trying to decide, do I go inside, do I go outside? And as you see, the 218 goes very wide indeed, but then, sorry, the 204, but then he's got the inside for this right-hander hairpin, and I kind of missed the opportunity there. I should have gone for the inside of that first hairpin and then would have got past the 204, but a little bit of a missed opportunity now. And as you see, that green car in the Pro Driver has completely cleared us in just a few corners because we got stuck behind those drivers. But now, just on the next lap, I'm defending. I'm going into turn 2.
Hey bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
Yeah.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, and you just can't get into it because they would never
So,
understand.
yeah. Unfortunately, we did not get the top 10 in the championship. Really unfortunate after that first round being P8 in the championship. Round 2 getting taken out by a pro driver. Because there's the 2 drop rounds, I thought maybe there's a chance in the final race, if again we're in the top 8 in our class, that we can get that top 10 in the championship because we get the drop round. But unfortunately, it did not go our way. I messed up the qualifying, and then that first race, we pushed hard, tried to stay clean, and unfortunately we're just 3 positions shy of being on pole for the reverse race. And then in that reverse race, we were able to make up a lot of positions, but unfortunately with that contact at the end, that really cost us a lot for our damage. We weren't really able to do anything there, and we were just waiting for if any cars crashed in front of us to gain a free position or 2. I want to say a big thank you to the Sim Racing Expo organisers for this championship. It was a very good championship, it was very exciting. I quite liked having the AM and the Pro category. So the AM was drivers with less than 5,000 I rating, and the Pro category was those with more than 5,000 I rating, and it was the top 25 in the world from each for the hot lap qualifier. I would love to see a championship like this again, maybe with a few more rounds. There was only 3 rounds, each with 2 races. A longer championship, but with this same format of cars and drivers would be really nice. It was very exciting. So a biggest shout out to the organisers, and hopefully if this is going on next year that we can give it another shot. But as always guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again next time.